Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Contest of Speed AM3 as they take on the Red Bull Ring here in Austria around the 4.318 kilometer 10 corner circuit. And it also comes along with three DRS zones. That's going to be from turn 10 down to turn 1, and then turn 1 up to turn 3, and turn 3 to turn 4. I am the Johnny Damon, and alongside me tonight is Cost Mindset. How are we doing tonight, Mindset?
Good, man. Good. You?
I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to this wonderful Grand Prix that we have here at Austria. Some weather might come into play. Tire strategies will definitely come into play, and maybe a little bit of fuel saving if we can have some green flag action all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking a look at the updated drivers and constructors championships here. Haas leading the way by 3 points to Williams by 3 points already. I just said that, but yeah, Haas with a P1 and P2 already in their bag. Great results for them. Williams right behind. They got a decent gap to AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri actually tied for third place right now, but everybody else pretty close. Only two teams that haven't scored. Um, and yeah, looking at the driver standings, Red Arrow P1 by what is that? 10 points. Yeah, 10 points right there. Followed by Nick AC, Pablo, and M1K. And I'll get you gameplay here in 1 second. I'm just having some issues.
Yeah, just want to let everybody know at the moment too, we are on full wets here in the qualifying. The rain is definitely coming down. We got puddles all over the track. So it's going to be a full wet qualifying, and I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys are going to put down some nice lap times.
Yeah, if you can shoot me one more invite once you get the chance here. Just reset my
Absolutely.
game, hoping that it works here.
Yep. I'm sending that out right now. Were you able to get that?
Yeah, let me see if this works, hopefully.
Okay. Just following along Red Arrow as getting ready to start his hot lap. About to enter turn 9, and in case nobody's read the announcement today, you must enter below that white prior to turn 9 to make your pit stop. You cannot go from the left side of the track across the to the
Oh,
right to make your pit stop here at Austin. Better entrance into pit lane. So just a heads up for all the folks that are out here racing. Oh no, you disconnected once again.
yeah, sorry about this. I'm gonna do something real quick. I know what is wrong. It's only gonna
All
take
right,
3 seconds. Sorry.
absolutely. So red arrows up into turn 3 at the moment, and he goes off the circuit. So now he's got to. I think he's gonna potentially bail out of his lap here. Um, for his first lap. No, he's actually still got the ERS wide open, but we're going to follow along Tavo, as he just had a nice exit out of turn 3, making his way down into turn 4. He does have this AlphaTauri behind him trying to get a tow. I'm not exactly sure that AlphaTauri is on a lap. And yes, it looks like he is. So you got Pablo Plays and Red Arrow both on, or Gustavo, both on a flyer. And it looks like Gustavo is actually slightly impeding. And whoa, what happened there? Pablo Plays completely drives off the circuit. Red Arrow comes across the line with a 117.5 to set the benchmark here in full wet tires at Austria. Um, Next to come across the line, and Shorzy retires from the session off the exit of turn 4 and 5. He goes to the inside wall. That's very unfortunate for him. Gustavo puts down a lap time. He's at a 117.8, so he's 3 tenths off of Red Arrow at the moment. Pablo Plays, his lap did not count because he completely drove off the track. Um, So we're going to follow along with Pablo Plays as he's making his way up the hill. Groove just comes across the line, sets the new benchmark for pole at a 117.4 on those full wets. So at the moment, we got the Haas 1 and 2, only separated by 0.19 seconds here in this qualifying session here at Austria. And then 3 and 4 is your Mercedes team of ASAP Loggi and Gustavo. And they're only separated by 7 thousandths of a second. Are you able to get back in?
I'm very sorry about this. My files are at 99%. I just had to verify them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Red Arrow comes across and sets a new fastest time with a 115.9. So Red Arrow has really improved on his last lap by about a second and a half. So he puts himself on the pole position at the time. M1K coming around, going to go into pit lane. So he unfortunately will not be putting a lap down for his first time out on the track.
Can I get one more invite? It should be good now.
Absolutely.
I just verified everything. Stupid Visa Cash App mod.
Wait, you're on? No, you're on computer.
I should be good now.
Yeah. Are you game?
Yeah, I'm in now.
Okay. Wasn't showing you online on my side real quick. There you are. So sent you another invite.
Perfect. Please work. I verified it, so if it doesn't work, I'm not sure.
If needed, I can also jump into the COS account, but hopefully this works.
We should be good. Connecting.
So Zenke is rounding turn 10, making a run towards the line. He's going to come across and set a 117.3. That puts him up into P3. So now it's Red Arrow at the top with Pablo Plays in P2, Zenke P3, Gru in P4, ASAP in P5, and Gustavo in P6. Only the top 6 drivers have actually set a time, and Pablo Plays comes through and sets the new fastest lap of a 115.572.
There we go.
So he's about 0.33 seconds ahead, or 0.37 ahead of Red time being, and Gru jumps up into that P3 position with a 116.308. So again, at the time being, we still now we're down to 7 guys that have put a lap down. Whitjay comes across the line with a 116.5.
Yeah, his teammate Easy10 got the stream up for you guys. Very sorry about that delay. It should be all good and working now. But yeah, here we go. Yeah, looks like it's full wet. It's definitely very interesting. Got the Haas of Red Arrow coming through. Looking to maybe start another lap. These guys, yeah, just going to do probably laps on laps here in the full wet. Because the track's just going to constantly get better.
Yeah, every lap these guys take, the tires will be warming up, and a little bit more wear into the tires tends to give you a little bit more grip. Who's this Ferrari around that's off of turn 4 here? This is Whitjay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whitjay went around off turn 4. He's getting that car back straight. He is missing an plate, so he will have to go into pit lane and put a new wing on.
Back on board with Red Arrow here. About 3.5-ish tenths off Pablo. Pablo in the pits. Red Arrow coming through this rough middle sector. Got to get the car turned in nice and easy. Don't hit the curbs to lose the traction. Goes a little bit wide on the apex. Got to make sure you don't track limit on that exit right there. Very easy to do. Also very easy to do right here. Whitjay getting out of the way for Red Arrow. Red Arrow got to keep it in the line. Looks like, no, Red Arrow, yeah, continuing his lap. Coming around the final corner. Make sure you don't extend it wide. Keeps it clean to the line. Where is this going to put Red Arrow? Looks like he's not going to improve. About 3/10 off for Red Arrow. Just probably getting a feel for the track. Not a lot of drivers, I assume, practiced for the wets very much. Zenke, though, and that Aston Martin coming around the line, 9/10 up. Last corner, keeping it. A lot of room left on that exit. A lot of time to gain right there. Let's see where this puts him. P5, a 16.5. Good lap for Zenke.
Yeah, and M1K right now is making his way towards turn 10, still within the track limits. He comes off, uses a little bit of the extra curb off the turn 10, making a run towards the line now, and puts down a 119.8. So he's going to be sitting in P13 after his first lap.
Yeah, the stewards, yeah, I heard earlier the stewards made sure you have to stay in those lines on that pit entry. Starting right here where Speedy Bullet is. You got to stay in those lines. I wonder how many people are going to get dinged for that, for getting that. It's definitely going to be very interesting. Also, how many drivers can keep it clean today? No penalties. This is a very rough track for time penalties. So it'll
Yeah,
definitely be interesting.
it's going to be very interesting to see how we are looking at weather-wise for the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, I'm not running my app tonight, as I think that was the reason why I was kicked.
Paulin,
But Paul in Hell with a
P1.
115.3, so he's almost 2 tenths up over Pablo Plays in that P2 position.
Yeah, looks like both the McLarens now starting their lap for them. Looks like we only have one Aston Martin today. That's Zenke. Zenke coming to the pits, followed by M1K into the pits as well. Let's go on board with Electric Entre, currently with a 117.4. Not a great exit off there. Looks like he maybe loses a little bit of time off that exit. Got to keep the... looks like he's backing off, actually, to let this Red Bull through. The Red Bull of Crisp Zip. Oh, Entree goes in the track, maybe looking to maybe give his teammate a tow. I don't know how much a tow would do though in this weather. CSR frame split through this.
Especially through Sector 2 here. Tow is not really beneficial here in Sector 2. It's more like dirty air at this point. But everybody who's watching at the time being too, go ahead and vote what you guys think will be time penalties tonight for prediction. Go into that voting poll and put your votes in. Get yourself some cost points here. Um, but yeah, in the meantime, Electric Entree does go into pit lane.
SR frame bumps himself up to P4, just getting into the 115s with a 115.973. Looks like Pablo's just starting his next lap, trying to maybe jump up ahead of Paulin. 6.5 minutes left here in quali. Looks like we got a Mercedes of Gustavo. No, it's actually Loggy. Loggy's about to start his lap to maybe jump up into that top 10, get a representative time up there for him.
Yeah, it looked like ASAP Loggy had a great exit off of turn 10. He's now making a run toward turn 1. This is a very tight part of the track. You might see some incidents as drivers are trying to go side by side through this through turn 1 up into turn 3. Very tight right-hander up here in turn 3. All the way down to first gear goes ASAP Loggy as he's coming off the exit of turn 3. He's got the traction there. The question is, how much time did he lose as he's making a run down to turn 4?
Yeah, looks like Gustavo retires on the exit of... Oh, yeah, you can just see right there. I'm not sure how he really lost his tire right there. Unless he lost his back end on the exit of turn 1 and jumped back onto the track after hitting the wall. That's definitely a very interesting spot for the Mercedes driver. Oh, and Loggy loses the rear end right there. Keeps it out of the wall. Great save by him.
Yeah, it was a great save by Loggy as EG10 is coming around turn 9 and he goes into pit lane here. So EG10, a little about what happened here because he came out of pit lane, was following right behind Electric Entree, doing an outlap, and he doesn't even put another lap down second run on the track. He ends up just going into pit lane. So I wonder if he may have forgotten fuel or tires there.
Yeah, M1K now, 17th place. He's had pretty good pace the first 2 races this season so far. So maybe he's still just getting used to the wet conditions, but we'll go on board with him while he finishes this lap. He has a Williams of Speedy Bullet right in front of him. Looks like Speedy Bullet might be on a lap too. No, but Speedy Bullet backs off. M1K, not the greatest exit off there. He did ground himself on that outside curb there. That curb is very harsh if you get on it too much. But this curb, you definitely want to use all of it. Coming into this long right-hander, getting a good exit to set up for these two brutal left-hand corners, the downhills. Here we go. Let's see if he can put it together. Running it out wide to that curb. Make sure not to go too wide into the gravel. Keeping it close to that curb on the outside. Make sure you don't lose your rear end here. Keeping it tight on that apex. He cut that really close to a track limits. M1K now coming around the final two corners. Don't run wide here to get a penalty. Keeps it nice and clean. Last corner. Keeps it in track limits. Runs it a lot closer than last time. This is a pretty decent lap for M1K. Puts him P13. Not as great as I thought, but let's bring up the tire graphic. Looks like, oh yeah, here we go. Red arrow enters are better now. Enters fastest lap. Red arrow.
Yeah, Red Arrow jumps up to the top, and right behind him comes his teammate who's 6/10 off of Gru in that P2 position. And you know, the best part about having these rain races is it's going to show you the drivers who can drive in the wet weather and the drivers who can't drive in the wet weather. And it might even potentially give us a new winner this season, as we have already had two different winners through the first two rounds of the season. Round one was Pablo Plays, and Red Arrow did take the win last week at Zandvoort. And so at the time being, you know, we're looking at good times coming through. Paul Hell is on in pits, making a charge up to turn 3 at the time being. Let's see how he gets on his exit here. He's got a purple sector 1. He's 2/10 up on his time.
Yeah, Paulin goes deep though. And he invalidates. Paulin was going to be the next driver to finish a lap on inters. Looks like Whitjay now will be the next on those inters right behind him to finish a lap, besides Red Arrow and Gru. Looks like Red Arrow and Gru are both starting another lap. These drivers, I assume, probably have a lot of fuel on board. Looks like, I'm not sure how much time, 1:44 left, so these are definitely our drivers close to last runs. Got to get your laps in now. Whitjay coming through the second sector right here. Let's see how far up he'll be on his time. Whitjay 1.4 seconds up on his time. That would put him pretty close to Red Arrow. They're almost about even. See how much time you can gain through these last two corners here. Sorry, you can go ahead.
No, you're good. If Whitjay can get a good run here off the exit of turn 10 as he's making a run towards the line, going to be in the 114 for the new pole. 2,000. Wow. Oh, and then Electric tops him by a half a second there at the top of the leaderboard.
There you go. I just flipped on to Pablo here down in P6. Pablo, it did say purple first sector. So let's see where this puts Pablo. 45 seconds left on your time here in quali. Paul in Hell retires from the sessions. Looked like he crashed out up here on the hill. Maybe.
Yeah, I was on board with Paul and Hell.
Oh, yeah, right there. You could see
a lot of tire spin, and that sent the car to the inside wall and took everything away. So unfortunately, turn 3 so far has claimed one life.
Pablo, 1.3 seconds up. He needs about 2/10 to gain in this last lap to get electric entree right here. Last two corners right here. Pablo said purple first and second. Then we'll flip right to SR Frame right behind Pablo. Oh, never mind. Oh, SR Racing goes P1 in the Red Bull. Pablo goes P1 in the Red Bull. SR Frame goes P1 in the McLaren. This track is just getting better and better.
Yeah, and SR Frame, not only does he go P1, but he goes P1 by 4/10 right now. Whitjay finishes his lap, puts himself P4 at the time being.
Yeah, looks like Unkempt is second up. Unkempt still on wets, maybe blocking this Red Bull. I mean, it's not blocking, it's just whatever he thinks, but unfortunate for that Red Bull. Unkempt stays P17. Crisp Zip right behind him. Who is this? We got a Williams of... Oh, Days Free goes P3. After an unfortunate crash out in his first race in Zandvoort last week, his teammate Speedy Bullet jumps 2 places behind him in 6th. Red Arrow finishes his quali in 2nd. Pablo 4/10 up. Pablo really looking for a charge here. Pablo's going to be right on the time with SR Frame right here.
And Easy 10 is being interfered here by Zenki in turn 9 and 10. Zenki's making a run towards the line on wet tires, and Easy 10 was able to get
Pablo
up to
to the line.
P5.
Pablo
Easy,
goes P2.
oh
12
man,
hundredths away from P1 right there. What a quali right there. SR
yeah,
frame in the McLaren.
qualifying was definitely a different show here at the Red Bull Ring with full wets to start, and then once the track started to dry up, we were finally able to see some intermediate tires take over.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, and there. Oh shoot, there it is. There's your quali right there. Pablo 12 hundredths behind, followed by Red Arrow 3 tenths behind in the Haas right there. SR frame, I believe, his first pole this season in the McLaren in Austria. Pablo usually been up towards the top. I assume he's pretty happy with P2 right there. Probably a little sad that he couldn't squeeze out that little bit more time. But there's your top 20 Shorzy not setting a lap in that Alpine. To the race we go. We'll definitely. It's going to be interesting to see if it's wet here. No, fully dry. Looks like a beautiful day in Spielberg.
So that's definitely going to change the way that some of these setups were created for the qualifying into the race. It makes you wonder how many drivers were on a dry setup versus
Yeah.
a wet setup in qualifying.
Yeah, great point. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Turn one, I think, might be a little carnage, especially with the guys who have the lower wings for the dries for the race. Might be getting a better start down to turn one and into turn three here than these wet guys.
Yeah, it can
So,
create a big hassle into turn one as well.
yeah, for sure. I think I would have to say maybe Red Arrow with a dry setup being 3 tenths off, but here we go. Lights are out. We'll go on board with Red Arrow here. They are out. Here we go. SR frame. Pablo not getting the greatest launch. Red Arrow coming down the line. Watch out for the Williams in the back. Red Arrow breaks late. A little bit of lag maybe. I don't know if that was on me, but looks like everybody's all good. Watch for this.
We were able to make it through turn one cleanly at the back as well. We had some cars go 3 wide into turn one. Now looking up the hill, the Williams teams are both side by side into turn three.
Yeah, Williams definitely not going to be liking that. Looks like Pablo's going to be making a move on SR frame for the lead. Pablo down the inside. SR frame not going to try and hold it. Oh, never mind, he is. Did they touch? Pablo and SR frame going side by side early in this lap, both on medium tires here. Pablo trying to hold it around the outside. SR frame's going to keep it done. Red Arrow right behind Pablo. Pablo under a lot of pressure here. This top five is really broken away. I'm not sure what's happened, but wow.
Yeah, big already kind of two trains forming here. I'm following along with the both the Williams teammates as they're trying to get past Whitjay, and it looks like Speedy Bullet is looking down to the inside into turn one. He was able to complete the pass, and he is up to P6. Now he's about 1 second off the back of SR Racing, so he needs to find a way to catch him real quick.
Sorry to interrupt you. Angel going around the outside of Days Freak. Both the Williams have kind of dropped back. Days, oh, and Whitjay hits Speedy Bullet around. Days Freak gets through, makes up 3 spots right there. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was a very lucky incident for Days Freak here. No wing damage. Whitjay does have wing damage. I think he got a rear locking going into turn 3 that caused him to go sideways. And unfortunately, he had some contact made.
Oh.
He is missing an M plate.
Looks like Gustavo and maybe Shorzy tapped a little bit. Maybe it was a little bit of net coating there. But yeah, back to these front 5. This front 4 are trying to break away from SR Racing here, not to get confused with SR Frame. And two time penalties already. Red Arrow with a 3-second on lap 2. And Whitjay also with a 3-second time penalty. Here's the tire graphic, just to show you guys. Everybody's on mediums except 4 drivers. Definitely very interesting there. But
yeah, and SR Frame is
Pablo
and here
going
comes
for a
Pablo
move.
down. Side. He was able to complete the pass right through turn 3. What a move by Pablo to take the lead of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, absolutely. Gets it done. SR Frame going to be maybe looking for another move coming down here. Pablo closes the door off. SR Frame keeping it. Getting the better run, though, out of here. Maybe he's going to try the switchback coming into these corners here. He hits the back of Pablo. They are hitting, but... Oh, shoot. I'm pressing all the wrong... Pablo hangs it around the outside. Oh, great racing between these guys. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and is Red Arrow going to be able to capitalize on this?
Pablo and SR Frame hitting.
Side, what a move by Pablo. Red Arrow as well. Red Arrow is looking to get by SR Frame off the exit of turn 10. Still side by side down the start finish straight up into turn 1. And it looks like Red Arrow is going to back out and fall right back in line. And now SR has overtaken Easy 10 off the exit of turn 1 as well.
Easy 10, though, looking for the move back on SR Racing after he just took it into turn 1. Maybe going to go for the dive bomb. Goes back to the racing line. Holding it around the outside. Gets it done. Who gets the better exit? Still side by side for these two. Looks like SR Racing will have the toe.
And here comes Pablo down the inside of SR Frame into turn 4. He was able to overtake him once again. So these guys are all battling for the top 5
Frame with the crazy
positions.
exit. Lap after lap, they maybe touch right there. SR Frame looking for the switchback. Gonna not send it down the inside wisely, keeping it behind Pablo. DRS is on.
Yeah, SR Frame was peeking down to the inside of turn 7 on Pablo Plays, but decided not to go for that move as well. Now we're down at a turn 10 to complete lap 4. SR Frame is going to open up that DRS, looking to make a run into turn 1. I think he's going to stay right behind him to get the DRS up into turn 3. And it looks like he does just that. Now he's going to open up that rear flap. He's following along closely. He jumped to the left-hand side of Pablo Plays, making their run up the hill into turn 3, side by side into the braking zone. Still side by side off the turn 3. Who's going to get the better run? Who's got the DRS?
Pablo
it
got
looks
the
like Pablo
DRS.
Plays got the DRS, making a run down into turn 4.
Gonna get the move done there. SR Frame kind of left out hanging right there. Oh, and SR Racing gets really close to the back of Red Arrow. I can't... The field's close, but it's kind of spread out, if you know what I mean. Like this
Yeah,
top
absolutely.
5, and then we have 2 guys behind, and then we kind of have another train. Pablo hanging it around the outside, though, of SR Frame again. SR Frame gets the job done on the inside. Red Arrow looking for the move now.
And Pablo makes that move into turn 9, now into turn 10. These guys are switching every single corner. And here comes SR Frame with the DRS. He's going to make a run down into turn 1. Actually, he's going to fall right back in line. And Red Arrow is closed up the door onto him. Are we going to have a way battle all the way up into turn 3? Here
Gets
comes SR
real
Frame
close.
down to the inside.
SR Frame is blinking. SR Frame has been using a lot of his battery. Pablo hanging around the outside. Maybe gets a little tap from Red Arrow behind. Pablo, though. Can we get an ERS check on Pablo?
Absolutely.
Pablo coming back with the DRS. Hitting it down the inside. Gets the move done before the turn even comes. SR Frame, though, touches the rear diffuser of Pablo. Trying to get the exit speed. Doesn't get it, though. Pablo stays ahead.
So Pablo Plays has 54%
Wow.
battery, and with the battle between these two leaders here, it's going to cause the rest of the field to kind of bunch up behind him as Days Freak goes around the outside of Easy 10, making their way towards turn 9.
Yeah, Days Freak also got a time penalty there. Only 2 time penalties on the grid. I think I said earlier that someone else had a 3-second, but it was a 5-second penalty that they got rid of. But SR Frame staying behind Pablo for the DRS on this main straight, or this long straight right here. SR Frame getting the better exit. Gonna pull alongside already. Already blinking. Pablo definitely has lower wings. That you can see right here. Looks like Shorzy spun or something back here. Pablo might not have DRS here. Pablo does get the DRS though. Gonna use his battery and his straight line speed to get past SR Frame in this middle sector. Gotta be close here. Gets it done. SR Frame going to try and get the switchback again. He's been doing this every single lap.
Yeah, The action between the front four is really tightening up. The question is when is Red Arrow gonna pounce on top of both of them? But with these two battling in front of Red Arrow, all Red Arrow save his battery, and at the same time he'll be saving his tires too.
Yeah. SR Racing, not to be confused with SR Frame, right behind him. P4 as well, also in a good spot. No penalty for him. 2 seconds around, or he's out of DRS from Days Freak. SR Frame gonna sit back behind Pablo again. I think we're gonna get the same exact match of what happened last lap. SR Frame gonna go for the move into turn 3 here. Going on the racing line this time. Pablo going defensive. Pablo gonna keep it clean. SR Frame saving the DRS now for this straight to get ahead. SR Frame gets a bad exit though.
Yeah, here comes Red Arrow looking to make a move going down into turn 4. The question is he going to be close enough? No, he is.
Red Arrow dive bombing. They keep it clean.
Oh, he looked to outbreak SR Frame. The thing about SR Frame continuously fighting, if I was him, I'd just sit right behind the Pablo Plays, take the DRS, use it to his advantage, and regenerate that battery, because guess what? Red Arrow right behind him has 80% battery, and he is just cruising along.
Yeah, I think Red Arrow might try and make a move here on this next big straight right here after turn 1 exit, if he gets a good exit out of here, because Red Arrow on the medium, these top four all are on mediums. Man, I can't talk, but Days Freak and M1K, Crisp Zip, and somebody else, Unkempt Dark, did get 3-second penalties while those were going on. SR Frame going to look for the move here, but yeah, Days Freak and M1K got to work together here to catch this main 4, because they got a nice gap behind them. M1K making the move on Days Freak.
Yeah, with M1K making that move on Days Freak, that kind of helps him, but he gets a terrible exit off of turn 3, so he actually lost 3 or 4 tenths there behind SR Racing. Meanwhile, the front 4 are kind of just calm down a little bit.
Days and M1K hit. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but they tapped each other a little bit.
And it looks like Paul and Hell and Chris Zip are side by side into turn 4, as well as they're making a run into this double left-hander here. Paul and Hell decides to back out, sit right back behind Chris Zip.
SR Frame right on the back of Pablo. I saw it in chat. SR Frame definitely has SR Frame definitely has lower downforce compared to Pablo. You can definitely see it on the straights and in the corners. SR Frame is getting better exits, almost getting the move done right off the exit here on turn 1. Going to take the racing line. Pablo staying defensive. Caution.
Hey, you know the hide UI on your bottom left hand or the bottom right hand? If you just hit F2, that will get rid of that.
Sorry about that.
All good. And we get a safety car on lap 10. I'm not exactly sure what caused the safety car, and it actually looks like, who is that? Aston Martin Zenke that went around there in the back. That was Zenke that went around into the wall. He has no front wing. And off the exit of turn 8, he's actually going to go into pit lane, get off the hard tires. He could possibly make the mediums last to the end, but they will be screaming.
Yeah, it looked like SR Frame somehow got past Pablo on that safety car. Let's see if these guys pit here. They are on the mediums. Might be able to make the hards last. Got to stay in the line here. Let's see if they do. Pablo is pitting. Going to stay in that white line nice and good for him. No penalty for Pablo there.
Yeah, there was a great opening 9 laps of racing between the front 4. Although Red Arrow and Pablo Plays were just kind of in cruise mode at that point. Red Arrow and SR Racing were cruise mode, following along with Frame and Pablo Plays as they battle. But Pablo Plays does go into pit lane, and what tires does he come out on? He comes out on the hards, so it looks like he's going to try and make the hards last the final 25 laps. And meanwhile, while we are safety car, if you guys are looking for a fun competitive league to join, please click on the Discord link in the chat. We'd love to take you on board, get you into a tier to have some fun. This is for AM3. We also have EU division and an Oceania division we are currently working on opening up as well. So if you're looking for some clean, competitive, fun racing, join Contest of Speed.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people pit here. Let's bring up the tire graphic here. See what everybody's on there. There you go. Top 3 haven't pit, or top 5 haven't pit. All on 10-lap old tires. Top 3 on mediums. The Haas of Gru and ASAP both on hards here. Pablo is the net leader right now on 0-lap old hards. Definitely got to be feeling good. Days Freak, net P2
wow, both of your top 2 have decided to dive into pit lane.
Oh.
SR Frame and SR Racing both gone into pit lane at this point. So that's going to drop them a lot further than Pablo plays now, and that actually brings them up into the P4 position.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call was there, waiting an extra lap. Maybe they didn't think the tires could have made it, maybe not. But Pablo, though, P4 after pitting on fresh hards that could make it to the end. Days Freak, though, P5. Days Freak with the highest up with the penalty so far that has boxed, besides Red Arrow hasn't boxed, but M1K and the Alfa Romeo P6 fresh mediums might have to pit again.
Yeah, another safety car towards the end of the race. If they still have a set of mediums from the qualifying as well, which everybody actually should if they went in with a balanced tire selection allocation into qualifying, they will be able to have another set of medium tires. And so any of these guys with another safety car could potentially make mediums last until the end. But safety car is in this lap, and the field is about to bunch up, and we'll get going to green again.
Yeah, here we go. We'll go on board with Gru. Looks like we have the Aston Martin of Zenki here lapped on fresh softs. Maybe, hopefully, he'll get out of the way, unlike Unkempt Arc and Zandvoort. Let's see what happens, though. Let's see how quick Red Arrow goes. Red Arrow going to be waiting. Still waiting.
Red Arrow is now
going right
off.
now. Looks like we have an accident in the back.
Field.
I wish we get an instant replay. It looks like carnage happened back here. Looks like Easy 10 got to go for the move on Crisp Zip into turn 1. No, stays back. I wish we could see what happened, but looks like Zenki's going to try and get past Red Arrow to not be lapped.
Yeah, Red Arrow did overtake Zenki there. And now Zenki is pulling away, but Red Arrow's already got the 0.2 second gap opened up over Gru here. And it seems to be some teamwork going on here now, because Gru is looking to get the time or the delta back under 1 second to catch right back up to the back of Red Arrow.
Yeah, looking back on Crisp Zip here on fresh softs, right behind Speedy Bullet. He's definitely going to want to try and make his way through the field quickly on these softs to make use of them.
Pablo Plays is all over the back of ASAP Loggy, and ASAP does not have the DRS at the moment to Gru in front of him, but the rest of the field is all getting towed along in the slipstream. And here comes Pablo Plays. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? He does not make that move into turn 1. Now he's probably going to get the DRS here. He does not. It's
no, I think DRS is this lap. M1K, though, I couldn't help but notice M1K right on the back of Days, but Pablo got the move done on ASAP Loggy. That wasn't the greatest camera angle that the game gave me right there. But Pablo does get the move done. Pablo's teammate, Unkempt, disconnects, unfortunately. Days Freak sends it down the inside of ASAP Loggy. ASAP Loggy kind of gets pushed off the track, losing another spot to M1K. Oh, there's a SR.
Oh, big pile up back here. What happened?
Oh!
What
oh my
heck?
God.
Wow, a huge
What
pile
just
up
happened?
Here in the sector 2, and that's going to bring out the second safety car of the evening here at the Red Bull Ring.
I caught just a little bit of it, and I couldn't see who it was. Red Arrow gets an amazing safety car for him, getting into the pits. I was on Skyview, right? It put me to Skyview, and I just saw it looked like, yeah, Speedy Bullet got hit by one of the, I think it was Crisp Zip on the, in the Red Bull. Yeah, it looks like he has no wing. Crisp Zip from this onboard perspective. Hitting, yeah, no wing for Crisp. Hitting the back of Speedy Bullet, spinning him around. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was a wild pile up there in sector 2 of the double left-hander. So it looks like is Red Arrow gone into the pits? Yes, he has. So now Gru has taken over the lead.
Yeah, Gru, though, on those 14-lap old hards, I think at this point he has to probably try and stay out and stick softs to the end, hoping for a maybe later safety car. Otherwise, besides that, Whit J also on 11-lap old hards. He should probably pit. Days Freak in a nice spot for him. Unfortunately, he has that 3-second time penalty. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wild turn of events here, but now we got Gru in the front, Pablo in P2. Pablo is in a really good position now. Safety car is going to allow him to save those hard tires for a couple more laps to be able to hopefully pull away and maybe get the win here at the Red Bull Ring for his second win of the season here in the AM3.
Yeah, and SR Frame looks like instead of a 3-second, looks like he might have sped in the pit lane when he boxed, and he has 5 seconds time penalty. There's your winners right here so far. Gustavo and the Mercedes up 11 spots. M1K up 12, Days up 3, and Goose up 12. There's only 4 drivers who have moved up in the grid. Everybody else has either went down or stayed the same. That's actually crazy considering the circumstances. But back to our leader, Gru, on the hards. Safety car should be in this lap. His teammate did leave right on the exit of the penultimate corner. He did get a good exit. Maybe he'll take one out of his book, though. Pablo going to be looking to make the move quick on those brand new hards. Yeah, safety car. There you go. Burn My Lander coming into the pits. Getting ready.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go back under green. The question is, when is Gru going to take off now? Because he is leading, and the only benefit for him is potentially helping his teammate get a better run off of turn 10 if he takes off early.
Yeah, his teammate Red Arrow down in P9 right behind Whit J in the lapped car of Zenki in the Aston Martin. Here we go, though. Gru weaving, getting those tires up to 10. Pablo waiting. Looks like Gru is waiting. Still going now, same place as his teammate Angelo. 5-second penalty under the safety car. M1K gets a penalty under the safety car for track limits. Pablo, though, gets a good exit compared to Gru. Going to be right on the back of him. Days Freak trying to stay behind Pablo with a great exit compared to Gru. Going to get the move done into turn 3.
Oh, and a 5-second penalty for
Pablo going to send the dive bomb. Ooh, they touch maybe? I couldn't tell from that angle. Pablo going to get the better exit, though. Days Freak just watching right behind here. Pablo, and they spun! Pablo spun Gru! Oh, and Days gets collected and loses his wing. Our top 2 drivers have no wing. M1K going to try and pick his way through this field. Gets Days Freak right behind Gru. Gru might not have gotten damage, but Days surely did. SR Frame right behind now.
Yeah, here comes M1K making a move before turn 9. Is he going to come?
He gets
he does. So Net's on his target is Pablo, and Pablo goes up.
It's like, yeah, Pablo has wing damage. Pablo's got to lose the lead of the race as he does right here. M1K, your new leader of the race.
And here comes SR Frame. SR Frame is back in the picture as well. He's up into the P4 position, overtaking Gru for P3 as they make their run up the hill towards turn 3.
Does it look Gru might not have I can't tell if Gru has damage or not. Looks like
He does
Gru is,
not
though. He
have
is
a
dropping.
mystery.
He is dropping really a lot. Oh, and Red Arrow gets a time penalty. 3 seconds for warnings. Pablo's.
So SR Frame is probably in the best position. Looking down the inside of M1K, makes a little bit of contact, pushes him wide. Now he's making a run toward
SR
turn 6
Racing.
and 7.
Gonna get the move, maybe down the inside. No, can't get it done. SR Frame, though, on Pablo. Pablo can't hold it around the outside with that wing damage. Opening the door for M1K. M1K gonna get moved in the penultimate corner, maybe. Blocking the pit lane off from Pablo.
And Pablo again, so that's probably his second track limit at the time being. So one more, he'll have a 3-second time penalty. DRS is enabled, and SR Frame is up in the front by himself at about a half a second lead. And he's got Pablo Plays trying to push behind him. He is going to have the DRS, but with that wing damage, it's going to be hard to slow the car down going into the entrance of turn 3. He dived down to the inside and looked to complete the move. Wow. Looks to complete the, I was going to say pass and move at the same time, but it doesn't work.
I think as long as Pablo stays, funny enough, I think as long as Pablo stays ahead on these straights, I don't think SR Frame will get past him. Even though he has wing damage, Pablo is running a low setup already, so with this wing damage, he's getting even more straight line speed. SR Frame, though, getting the move done in the corner. That just shows you the difference right there.
And M1K is wondering, when can he take advantage of this? Pablo Plays not having that front wing, but he is following along, and here comes SR Racing looking down to the inside of M1K.
M1K goes wide. Red Arrow up into P4 now.
Yeah, here comes Red Arrow making a charge back to the front. So now we got SR Frame, Pablo Plays Racing, Red Arrow 5. They have broken out of the DRS from ASAP Loggy in P6.
Yeah, SR Racing got to get the move done. Maybe, got to look for the move on Pablo. Pablo goes defensive, does the dive on SR Frame. I don't know why SR Frame is not going defensive here. Because Pablo is just going to have the better straight line speed.
Yeah, SR Frame did get the DRS off of Pablo. Side by side into turn 4. He's going to try and look around the outside.
Yeah.
Onto the exit curb, and he completes the move.
Pablo coming back on that straight line speed, but any move into the corner, I think SR Frame has on Pablo.
Absolutely.
Pablo just
and this is the time. This is the time for Frame to kind of open up that gap, and here comes Racing around the side as well. So Racing has taken advantage and moved up to that P2 position.
Yeah, Red Arrow though, right on the back. Oh, Pablo goes wide. This wing damage is really hurting Pablo's chances right here. Pablo's definitely hoping for a safety car. Top two though are blinking.
Yeah, they are. They're both under 10% battery, and here comes Red Arrow now. He is looking to attack on Pablo. Using that battery, got the DRS. He's not going to be close enough,
front
and
two.
Here comes Racing. Racing down to the inside. He does complete the move into turn 3, gets a great exit, and Pablo's and Frame get together off the exit of turn 3. Red Arrow has now taken advantage of Pablo's mistake, and he is also making a run down into turn 4.
Whoa! M1K spins, hitting the back of Pablo. Oh my! I can't know the. Ugh. Man.
That was very unfortunate for M1K. He looked down to the inside in turn 4, and unfortunately that did put him around. Red Arrow is now back of Racing here. Excuse me.
Yes.
60% battery to less than 10% battery.
For both of those guys up top, yeah. Both those guys still blinking. Maybe Red Arrow going to try and get the move done here, but I just noticed Speedy Bullet, who got caught in that one collision that brought out a safety car, and he was down in P13, is up into P5. No penalties for him. He should be on new tires if I remember. So he is in a great spot. Red Arrow decides to stay behind, collect the DRS, gain even more battery for these guys.
Yeah, Red Arrow's just kind of chilling at this point. He is completely content with following the two leaders. Hopefully be able to take advantage at the end of the Grand Prix. And Speedy Bullet has also pulled himself into the picture along with ASAP Loggy, who's right behind him in P6.
Yeah, this wing damage doesn't look so bad for Pablo until he gets to this middle sector here. Oh, and SR Frame has a moment. Red Arrow looking for the move. Doesn't get it. Maybe that was a little bit of lag there in net coding. But Red Arrow,
And
SR Frame. Sorry, SR Frame. Oh, and SR Frame goes off the track. Who was that in the back? Pablo's goes off the track as well.
ASAP
Loggy.
Loggy jumped up 2 positions just from turn 8 all the way through turn 10. So here comes ASAP Loggy. He's up to P4.
Red
He's going to
Arrow
be looking to make a run.
also got the move done on SR Racing in turn 1. Red Arrow doesn't have the battery though. Or doesn't have the DRS, sorry. SR Racing does though. SR Racing gets the move done into turn 3 before the corner even comes up. Pablo right on the back of Loggy here, trying to get his move, trying to get his spot back. Pablo with the DRS, gonna maybe send a dive bomb here. No, Pablo stays behind.
Yeah, Pablo is really slowing up some of these guys throughout the corner with that wing damage because Speedy Bullet's right behind him. And there was a McLaren, but I think that
I believe
McLaren
that was
is
electric
actually a lap
entree.
down.
Yeah, I think he lagged out. Gotcha. Unfortunately. But back to Red Arrow. Red Arrow, SR Racing just out of the DRS of SR Frame out of this main straight. Looks like Red Arrow might have had a little moment here. Getting the better exit though, and the DRS. Going to launch himself up into P2 before the corner even comes for turn 1.
Yeah, if these guys timed everything perfectly, this DRS will allow to pull back up to the back of SR Frame, but unfortunately it's not working out as they planned, even though Red Arrow's using a lot of batteries under a second, or just at a second, not quite under it, so he's not going to have DRS off a turn 3.
Yeah, I bet SR Frame is really loving this right now. These guys fighting, but as of now, Red Arrow just got a better exit off this corner, bringing himself into the DRS zone of SR Frame here. Pulling him in, actually. I believe it's still because SR Frame, no battery compared to Red Arrow's decent amount of battery.
Yeah, Red Arrow is now in the DRS of Frame. He just needs to keep it under that 1 second mark through. He gets loose going into turn 8, so that actually bumps him back out of DRS, and now he's looking to pull back in it just before turn 10, and it does not look like he's going to be close enough, so he still has another lap to pull up.
Yeah, further down the field, Daysfree gets the move done on Gustavo after his, I can't remember what happened to him, actually. I think he actually boxed. I think he was on fresh tires, but 11 laps to go in this race right now. SR Frame with the penalty. SR Racing is in the best spot here based off penalties.
Yeah, SR Racing is definitely in the best spot to take this as long as he does not get a penalty of 3 seconds. But ASAP Loggy has fallen out of DRS range as well. In the meantime, we got Speedy Bullet, Pablo, and Paul and Hell all battling for P5.
Yeah, Pablo's still thugging it out on that wing damage. He is missing the whole end plate though.
Yeah, he is still trying to fight with these guys. And Paul and Hell is really closed up to the back of Pablo plays, especially in Sector 2. He just cannot get the move done.
Yeah, looks like Paulin might go for the move here. Paulin and Pablo right next to each other here, passing the pit line once again. Nobody's going in. 10 laps to go in this race. Pablo extends the track limits just a little bit. Maybe got a warning there, maybe didn't.
The thing about Pablo is he had about 65% battery going into the start of this lap. Now he's down to 50%, so he is using that battery pretty wisely to keep within DRS of the cars in front to hold off Paul and Hell at the time being.
Yeah, Red Arrow still right on the cusp of SR Frames. DRS just can't get into it. These guys are so even right now based off pace that they're just even. I mean, there's not much more to it. Red Arrow, though, it's so close. It just keeps going up and down. It's fluctuating too much.
And I'm on board with Zip and Whitjay, and they just came off the exit of turn 3, and neither one of those cars had DRS. So the question is, did they cross the DRS detection point at the exact same time? because neither car had DRS off of turn 3 on their way down to turn 4.
Oh, Red Arrow gets under the DRS zone. Did he get it? Red Arrow got DRS. And SR Racing doesn't have it. SR Racing out of the DRS zone of Red Arrow. This could be bad for him.
Yeah, this can definitely benefit Red Arrow here to defend off Racing, but Racing is working on trying to find some more pace within the last 7 or 8 laps or so here into turn 3. Racing trying to get a better run all the way to first gear. Got the DRS on Red Arrow turn 3.
Yeah, these front two need to work together here with both their time penalties if they either want to win. SR Racing to try and get back into the Red Arrow's DRS zone. Right now, he still does have the win, but if it were to end right now, 9 laps though to go. No DRS for SR Racing. Days Freak, another 3-second time penalty, unfortunately for him. Red Arrow now really close to SR Frame. SR Frame going into the pits. SR Frame's into the pits.
Oh, so
with
SR Frame
9 laps to go.
pit. And he also
He gets a
pulled
5-second.
I'm a little confused about this call here. ASAP was having a great race. He was actually in position to put himself on the podium, but now he dives into pit lane.
I didn't even realize Red Arrow has 6 seconds in time penalties. Speedy Bullet's not in that 6 second right now. Wait, we got to go to the tire detail real quick. Red Arrow is on the best tires. I mean, those hards are just going to be better than those mediums at some point. They are the same lap old. ASAP goes to fresh softs. SR Frame and SR Racing go to fresh softs. Days retires in the pits, unfortunately. But, yeah, with the leader having 5 seconds and 6 seconds in time penalties, I'm not sure why SR Racing and ASAP pit there.
I'm not exactly sure either, but Colin Hell does have the DRS on Speed Bullet here, so he's looking to get a better run through 9 and 10. Falling out of that 1 second off the exit of turn 8. He's not able to get that run down to turn 10, so he's still going to be outside of DRS range.
Yeah, with 7 laps left, it might have been too late for the guys to go to softs to even pull the time back. Like SR Racing's the only one with no penalties right now that could have a chance at getting into Red Arrow's time penalty on those softs. He needs to gain about 23 seconds or so in 7 laps.
Yeah, Frame is about 21.3 seconds off the back of the leader, and Racing was looking down to the inside up into turn 3, but decided to back out. They're trying to use these soft tires to the best of their advantage. They'd also like to get that fastest lap as well.
Yeah, for sure. SR Racing or SR Frame. SR Frame does have the 5-second penalty still, because I believe he did serve one of his speeding penalties, but then he got another one coming in.
Oh, that's unfortunate for him. And around the outside, Frame goes on crisp dip in Sector 2, and here comes Racing as well. And now Frame is looking to make a move on with Jay all the way down into turn 9. And he was not able to get the best run going into turn 9.
Frame still blinking. Frame hits the back of Widjay.
He's got the DRS, jumped down to the inside, making a run towards turn 1. Is he going to stay there? Yes, he does, into turn 1. He got a great entry for some odd reason from a tight line into turn 1. And here comes SR Racing as well. He jumps over with Jay as they make a run side by side.
These guys behind as well. Gru looking for the move on ASAP Loggy, gets it done. All these guys on these fresh soft tires. ASAP Loggy looking for the switchback on this guy. On Gru, getting DRS. Gonna maybe go for the dive bomb into turn 4 here. Stays behind. SR Frame.
Yeah, Frame and Racing needs to make up about 19 seconds in time to get all the way back up to the leader, and we got about 6 or 7 laps to go. 6 laps to go now.
Now, is that 19 seconds to get into Red Arrow's penalty?
Oh, no, that's, so they need They need to gain 13 seconds over these final laps to get inside of that 6-second
I
window
believe
of
Red
Red
Arrow
Arrow.
has 6 seconds in penalties. Yeah,
I'm gonna
Red Arrow
pull
has
that
6
up right
seconds in
now. Yep.
penalties. Looks
No
like
big movement going on at the time, but it looks like Racing and Racing goes down to the side of Frame into turn 3. Who's gonna get the DRS off the exit of turn 3?
yeah, gets it done right. It looks like neither of them got it.
Racing actually got the DRS off the exit of turn 3. Now he's made that work to his advantage into turn 4.
It's crazy to say this, but I think with Pablo's wing damage, I think he still might somehow pull out a P4 here.
Yeah, Pablo's got that missing end plate on his left front wing, and Racing and Frame has about 3.5 seconds to gain in
And
order to be able to complete that move.
Red Arrow is getting DRS off of the back marker, Zenke in the Aston Martin. This is helping Red Arrow tremendously. He has a 2-second gap to Speedy Bullet in P2 with even with his penalties applied, he'll be winning by 2 seconds.
Yeah, Red Arrow's just kind of chilling at this point. However, Zenke does want to potentially move out of the way at some point. Otherwise, he is going to get a penalty for the blue lights being on and not getting out of the way. Gustavo gets himself a 3-second time penalty as well.
Yeah, we have 7 drivers, maybe 6 drivers with time penalties right now. SR Frame doesn't have a time penalty or a track limits penalty. Just speeding. SR Frame gets the move done around the outside on SR Racing.
Yeah, the two SR drivers are really battling it out, and unfortunately, this isn't benefiting them as they're trying to catch up to the back of Pablo. They're less than 2 seconds at the time being, but Frame needs to remember he does have that 3-second time penalty, so you need to be able to complete that move and gain a lot more time.
Yeah, Pablo keeps going. I've seen Pablo go off track on the penultimate corner exit like 4 times. He hasn't gotten a penalty. Maybe he's found something that others don't know, but looks like Angel with the 3-second time penalty. And now all the penalties are kicking off. Here we go. Red Arrow, sorry. All right. And here we go. SR Frame and SR Racing have caught to the back of Pablo. SR Frame 5/10 back. If he gets the move done now on this next straight, I think he might be able to pull his 5-second gap to Pablo.
Yeah, he gets into the back of Pablo, pushing him through. He pushed him through. Now he looks through the inside, completes the move, and here
SR
comes Racing.
looking for the move now.
It's kind of like, some bump drafting going on here. Just trying to push him
Pablo
through
off
the
the
corner.
track again. No warning or penalty.
And here comes Racing. Is he going to get the advantage down?
I don't think he can. I think Pablo's straight line speed is too much. Pablo's going to get him back here. Pablo's going to get SR Frame back right here. Holding up SR Frame even more.
Racing, you mean?
Oh,
Them two guys.
sorry.
It's so confusing.
Yeah,
they need to change their name. Racing in the Red Bull is stuck right behind Pablo Plays. He's got to make a move before turn 4. If he does not complete this pass before turn 4, and here comes Pablo Plays,
down the inside, doesn't get the room. They clip wheels. Pablo
off of 4. Now he's making a run. Here comes Racing down to the inside, and Pablo Plays
gets the move
into
done.
the double left.
SR Frame might have closed the door on Pablo there, not giving Pablo the room, and Pablo's already dropped out of DRS range on these two.
And Red Arrow has started the penultimate lap as well. And who's that McLaren? Entree. He's just kind of chilling there on the outside of the track, watching all the competitors drive by.
Yeah, he was having a boring race, so he thought he'd watch the race for himself.
Yeah, just watch it from in front of the stands, get front row seats to the entire action.
Here we go now. SR Frame now. DRS going to the inside line, getting the move done very easy. right here. I think SR Frame knows that he's not going to get a 5-second gap on SR Racing here.
Yeah, he might not be able to get a 5-second gap on Racing, but he still has potential to get that 5-second gap to Pablo Plays, as they've already pulled almost 3 seconds on him.
Yeah, Gru and Loggy going to look to get Pablo on that last lap here. But I think Red Arrow's going to bring it home here after a not so great strategy call by the top like 3 or 4, going on his softs with 8 or so laps remaining.
Yeah, Red Arrows ran a great race at this point here of the Grand Prix. He is on the final lap, making his way into turn 3 for the final time here at the Red Bull Ring. All he needs to do is manage to keep that car under control for the remainder of the lap. Stay within 6 seconds ahead of Speedy Bullet, and ASAP and Plays have wrecked out here off the exit of turn 1. Not as that happened. They both look like they went into the inside wall for that the both of their races.
Oh my God! I missed it. It all happened so quick.
I have no idea as well, but Frame are side by side in turn 4, and it looks like Frame is able to overtake Racing as they're making the up to the back of Paul and Hell, though. But Paul looks like he's able to keep it in.
Coming to the line, though. Red Arrow, he wins in Zandvoort, and he wins in Austria 2 in a row for Red Arrow.
And here comes Speedy Bullet with a very impressive, quiet race for him. He comes across the line in P2. And then Paul and Hell also comes across the line in P3 as well, so very impressive by him.
SR Frame gets another 5-second penalty.
No, that was unserved.
Oh,
seconds,
okay.
Yeah.
We'll bring up the penalties here.
Racing was able to jump Frame, and then Gru finishes P6, M1K in 7th, with J in 8th, Chris Zip in 9th, Gustavo 10th. Angel is making his way around the final corner now to come across the line 11th.
That was very unfortunate for ASAP Loggy and Pablo there. They were both having a great race, going to look to bring home good points. I wish I caught it for you guys, but I missed it, unfortunately.
Wow, that was eventful. You know, 2 safety cars. So I mean, it was a great race all throughout. Only 2 safety cars here at Austria. Fantastic to see. The top 5 cars battled it out for the first 9 laps, and then eventually things started to kind of open up a little bit after probably, I want to say, lap 24 or 25 when some of the leaders have decided to pit.
Yeah, you want to go through this the finishing order?
Absolutely, I can do that for you. Red Arrow has taken the victory, and then Speedy Bullet with a quiet race went from 7 up to P2. Paul and Hell from P14 to P3. So I'm going to give him driver of the day.
Yeah,
SR Racing up. SR Racing 4 Frame P5, Gru P6, M1K P7, Whitjay in 8th, Chris Zip in 9th, Gustavo 10th, Angel 11th, Pablo Plays 12th, ASAP Loggy 13th, Zenki 14th, Electric Entree 15th, Dave's Freakin' 16th, Easy 10 in 17th, Unkempt in 18th, and Shorzy rounds out the field.
Yeah, great race by everybody. A lot of penalties handed out this race.
That was a very eventful Grand Prix here at the Red Bull Ring. So now got to get these folks in here.
Yeah, let's get Red Arrow, Paul in, and I'm blanking already. It's been a long night. You send him an invite here. Red Arrow. Paulin. And who was the other finish? Oh, Speedy. Speedy.
Speedy Bullet, Red Arrow, and Paul.
What is his Discord name?
Hmm,
All right, I sent him an invite.
perfect.
See if I can get Speedy Bullet's name.
All right, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Hello, hello. All right.
If you want to start, Johnny.
Yeah, absolutely. I kick this off with your race winner, um, Red Arrow. I mean, that was a great race by you. I'm not exactly sure what the other leaders were thinking, towards the end of the Grand Prix when they decided to box. That gave you the window and opportunity you need to pull away from the field. Were you concerned before they bought uh, with your time penalties?
100%. I thought when I got the second time penalty that raised it to 6 seconds, I thought my race was over. I think the best I would have hoped for was either a podium place or in the top five at least. But when they pitted on that, I don't know what lap it was to get mediums, first not mediums to hards. I was like, there was a shot. And then when they pitted again on a later safety car, and I was already on the hards, I'm like, I'm taking this to the end, and all I need is to come up with 6 seconds, and that's what happened. And I got a bit lucky too, coming up behind a lap car that gave me DRS for 3 laps. So thank you, Zenki, that's how you pronounce it, for that bit of help in the last closing laps.
Yeah. How
Yeah, I
does it?
mean,
Oh, sorry, sorry.
no, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I just wanted to ask, how does it feel to win two races in a row so far and take a pretty commanding lead in the championship this early?
Oh man, I just gotta pinch myself because I didn't think I would win 2 races this early in the season and be leading the championship. So I I was just driving for a pole and a win this season. Still going for the pole, but the win is so sweet last week, and now another one this week. I couldn't hope for anything better. Just elated, to be honest.
Yeah, well, congratulations on your win here at the Red Wing and getting your second win in the row. And the only driver with two wins on the grid in the first 3 weeks. Obviously, the math works that way, I guess. Um, but congratulations once again. And Speedy Bullet was P2, I believe. So go ahead and take that away, Mindset.
Yeah, I mean, Speedy Bullet. I can't really remember where you qualified, but you got to be happy with the P2. What was going through your head on those closing laps? Were you trying to catch Red Arrow on those penalties, or were you just trying to bring it home?
Uh, at the time, how my race went, I went through hell, complete hell. I got pushed in the back twice, spent out, got pushed almost to last, and um, once I got up there, I qualified seventh, I think eighth or whatever. But first two laps, I got pushed around and had to reset again. So I just pretty much just kept my head down the whole time. I knew I wouldn't be able to catch Red Arrow, so I was just chilling at the time because he was like 10 seconds away. So I was like, yeah, I ain't about to try it. But yeah, just kept my head down and had to do what I had to do.
Yeah, that was a fantastic race by you, Speedy Bullet. In my eyes, I thought it was a quiet race, but it sounded like it was eventful for you. I know some fans were cheering you on in the chat throughout the race. So congratulations on the P2. The only question I have for you, um, with all the battling that was going on in front of you, were you concerned at all of maybe getting into a accident at all?
100%. I was shaking in my boots because I didn't want to overbreak or break too late or something and hit somebody and mess up somebody else's race. So yeah, I was pretty kind of shook, but once I saw the little openings and stuff like that, I try to be easy and just take what I can.
Absolutely. Congratulations once again on your P2 finish. And now on to Paul and
Thank you.
Hell. Absolutely. Paul and Hell, I chose you to be my driver of the from I think it was the P14 all the way up to P3. You had a lot of action going on in front of you. What was your strategy call kind of picking your way through to get yourself onto a podium field or podium spot?
Ooh, first off, Johnny, nice to actually talk to you and not in the wee hours of the morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning when we're usually up and racing. But yeah, pretty much make those mediums last till the end. I mean, those mediums I had on, I pitted during the last safety car, and they were screaming at me at the end of the race. So I was just trying to keep it together, keep it good, and very, very emotional roller coaster this whole night was, I tell you.
Yeah,
I
just
can see that happening, and yes, it is great to talk to you when it's not 4 o'clock in the morning for me.
Oh, exactly. But hey, I'm a night owl, so that's what I do. You just must wake up early. That's what you must do.
No,
Either that or you
nope,
stay up all
I
night
stay
also.
up all night. I stay up all
See,
night.
that's what we do. That's what we do. Stay up all night, race those Aussies.
Absolutely.
But yeah. Obviously my qualifying. I mean, when we were on the wets, the full wets, I do pretty well in the wets. So I mean, I was rocking it on the full wets. Put on those intermediates. Cooked it a little too much in turn two, and yeah, hit the wall. Pissed off about my qualifying there. Race wise, yeah, got pushed around a little bit, stuck in the back, and then just was patient and just that's what you do. You just got to play patience. Play it patiently. There was an incident that happened in front of me on that last safety car to where it was a little hard to avoid, and I lost my wing there. That's when I stopped on those mediums, and very surprised that some of those front runners pitted there towards the end to get me up into the podium positions, and I wasn't letting go. And I do want to thank, it's the same thing that happened to Red Arrow a little bit. I do want to thank Electric Entree a little bit for being a lapped car and giving me a little bit of DRS to keep those two SRs behind me.
Gotta love the lappers.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
you mindset, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to know basically like what setup were you running for this race? Was it mainly a wet setup for quali, or did you go more race pace for the setup?
Oh, no. It's my dry setup. Yeah, I just went dry setup and then just take it a little easy on your throttle during the wet. So, yeah, but my setup is kind of a little bit of a higher downforce setup for this particular track than what some other people probably run. So I love to be fast through sector 2 on this particular track and let the DRS help me in the straights when I can and save my battery for that. So yeah, catch up time in sector 2, use a little bit of battery and DRS in the straights, and yeah, set up as pretty solid.
Yeah, well, congratulations. That's all I really got for you guys.
Yeah,
Great
and
racing.
definitely yeah, congratulations to Arrow and Speedy Bullet for the win in P2. And yeah, Arrow, you got some catching up to do, but we're gonna get you, buddy. We'll get you.
I'm looking forward to it. So,
We had some good battles last season, and I'm looking forward to some more this season. Especially since
oh,
all of our
same
quicker
here.
guys, yeah, all of our quicker guys from last season moved up tiers. So me and Arrow, I know for a fact we're coming into this season with high hopes, but there's a couple new guys in here that we have to catch up to, or in Arrow's case, keep them behind.
Yes, sir.
All right, cheers, guys.
All right,
Thanks.
everybody. This is have a good night. This is Contest of Speed AM3, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking to join a great, wonderful, fun, competitive league, please join Contest of Speed. We're always looking to improve. In the meantime, tune into tomorrow afternoon, night, depending on where you are for the what is it, EU3 tomorrow or EU2?
I believe it's EU2.
For EU2 at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and then tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, your AM2 division will also be taken on the Red Bull Ring. In the meantime, we will all see you guys in chat tomorrow, and have a wonderful night.
Have a good night.